I didn't think the pain from the shingles rash would affect simple, everyday tasks like bathing, getting dressed, or even walking around. I was wrong. Though not everyone at risk will develop it, 99% of people over the age of 50 already have the virus that causes shingles, and it could reactivate at any time. I developed it, and the blistering rash lasted for weeks. Don't learn the hard way, like I did. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today. Sponsored by GSK.
Ace Johnson was once a great detective with the Allen Police Department. His retirement ended his time on the force. Now he uses his skills to help the powerless. Tune in to each episode as Ace finds love, makes new friends, and brings criminals to justice. Ace Johnson, Episode 14, A Trip to Chicago. Developed from the book Ace of Hearts by Gary W. Bryant. Executive producer, editor, Studio K. Director, Gary W. Bryant. Music producer, Jordan Roush. Clarinet solos, Olivia Houghton. Sound effects, Blake Kraft. In this episode, you will hear the voices of Christina Bentley as Kathy Williams, Gary W. Bryant as the narrator and Ace Johnson, Walt Pennington as Kozlowski, Chris Campbell as Lieutenant Hal Spears, Kristen Duff as Lily Ricotta, Bonnie Jean Blankenship as Anna.
Why would Ted be going to that house?
Kathy, do you remember that he was charged with possession of child pornography?
He's going to see the girls. They're in the house. Oh, that's both horrible and fantastic at the same time. I mean, it's great that we've probably found them, but I don't even want to think about what they're going through. Those poor girls.
But I believe they're alive. Hopefully all of them.
What do we do now?
I know what I want to do. I want to charge into that house to rescue all those girls. But of course, a 65-year-old man likely wouldn't have much of a chance. So I have to convince Hal that we have enough probable cause to get a search warrant. I don't know that my gut will be enough to convince a judge. Considering Stein's status in the business community, he likely knows some of the right people. It'll take some objective evidence to get that warrant. We need something that points to criminal activity. All we have now is a few men visiting a house. We spent the rest of the afternoon watching for Ted to leave. Eventually, he came back down the driveway and through the gate. I clenched my fists as I watched him turn down the road opposite us. I felt so powerless. Kathy must have noticed. She grabbed my hand.
We'll get them. We'll save those girls.
I know we will. I wonder when Ted will next be near Lily. The fear showed in Kathy's face.
I hope we can catch them and him before then. We have to make sure she's safe.
I decided to make my appeal to Hal in person, so I went to the station. I hate to say this, but he may speak more freely if I go alone. I can't go into it, but there are things Hal has told me he wasn't supposed to. I trust you completely, but he's never met you. I could see the disappointment on her face.
I understand. I don't like it, but I understand.
I found Kozlowski at his usual place at the front desk.
Hi, Ace.
Hi, Kozlowski. Is Hal in his office?
Yeah, he's in his office, but he's had a pretty busy day. I think he's anxious to get out of here, so you need to go back at your own risk.
I decided to take my chances. I opened his door and stuck my head in his office. Have a couple of minutes?
Just a couple, Ace. I've had a terrible day. I was looking forward to getting out of here.
Okay. I'll be as brief as I can. I think I know where the girls are.
Come on, Ace. Are you going to say they're at Ken Stein's house? That's a bit of a far reach. You could be right, but what am I going to tell the judge when I ask for a search warrant? Am I going to say, well, 4 guys from Chicago were spotted up the driveway, so there must be illegal activity going on, because we all know that men from Chicago are in the mob. Ace, I've given you the information you asked for old time's sake. And I know who you are, and you're a good detective, but the fact is you're retired. Do you have anything more than what you just gave me earlier?
Look, Hal, I won't remind you, for old time's sake, that I taught you everything you know. I remember when you were so green that I had to show you which line to sign on a speeding ticket. The fact is, I could still do the job, despite my age. Look, Hal, I know this job gets tough. You've given me information you certainly didn't have to. I remember how this job can make you numb. You see so much. I want you to think about the fact that these girls are someone's daughter, granddaughter, or sister. They're hurting. These girls are going through Lord knows what. I must do all I can to help them, and I need your help. I do have a bit of information. It may not be enough to get a search warrant. I understand that. But maybe you could do something. Ted Lancer, who had a child sex charge, was going to that house. Did I tell you we found out that Ron Colombo was in partnership with Jimmy Reynolds at a Chicago Italian restaurant before entering the witness protection plan? I know these things are circumstantial, but you have to admit the circumstantial stuff is beginning to pile up.
Look, I'm sorry about earlier, Ace. It's been a tough day. You're right. I learned everything I know from you. You might also remember one thing you taught me. Don't go into a situation half-cocked. We aren't fully cocked. We don't know enough to get a warrant. So far, all you have is some businessmen hanging out. There is even a common tie, the restaurant business. Even Lancer sells commercial insurance. Maybe he's friends with Stein. We just need more. If we could tie them to the guy with the scar, that would give us enough to get the warrant.
I guess you're right. But I know those girls are in that house. I just can't prove it.
They may be. We just have to keep digging. Look, I agree that it looks suspicious. We'll keep looking, but we just don't have enough to knock on their door yet.
I understand, Hal. We'll keep looking on our end as well. See you, Hal.
Be careful. See you, Ace.
I found Kozlowski and Jones actually having a civil conversation. Make it nice, fellas?
Yeah. For the sake of work, we decided to bury the hatchet. Oh, I see the lieutenant didn't bite your head off?
He was a bit surly, but I could be surly back.
I bet you can.
See you, Kozlowski.
See ya, Ace.
I found Kathy waiting patiently, just another thing to love about her.
How did it go?
Hal still doesn't believe we have enough to get a search warrant. I hate to admit it, but he's right. I know those girls are in that house. The longer they stay there, the worse their lives are messed up, and I'm afraid the more danger they're in. I can't stand the thought of those girls in a house, Kathy. Kathy took my hand and looked into my eyes.
You're not responsible for what's happening to those girls. You're doing everything you can to help them. We'll keep trying. We'll get them out of there.
We will, but when? As I drove Kathy back to her house, I thought about Shirley and Dorothy and how much I would like to bring their girls back to them. There had to be a way to tie the guy with the scar to Reynolds. I glanced at Kathy. I'm sorry I'm not so much company this evening.
I understand. I feel the same way. But didn't you have cases like this before you retired? Cases where you knew you were right but couldn't prove it?
Yeah, I had several, but this is different. I don't know that in all my years as an officer here in Allen, I ever had a case that affected so many people.
So what do we do next?
Good question. I feel the man taking the girls doesn't go to the house, except maybe when he takes a girl. We could catch him delivering a girl to the house, but by the time we find out a girl's missing, she's likely already there. That would mean our only option would be to sit on a stakeout and hope he takes another victim. I have a hard time doing that.
I understand. Do we have another option?
No, I guess it's back to the convenience store parking lot tomorrow. So far, the only person linked to the crime is a man with the scar. He seems to have disappeared. He has no apparent ties to anyone in Allen, but I know deep down he's tied to them. I wonder if Lily could find anything else.
We could always ask her. I think she enjoys her detective work. Why don't we call her?
Sure.
Hello, Lily. I'm with Ace. You're on speaker.
Hello, Kathy. Hi, Ace. What are you guys doing? Find anything new?
Not much. And no, we didn't.
Lily, does Ted come to the house?
Yes. Why?
Just be careful around him, okay?
Ace, I make sure I'm never alone with him if that's what you mean. I don't trust him. Is there something you aren't telling me? Is Mom in danger?
Let's just say I don't trust him either, young lady. But I don't think your mom is in danger. Can you do something else for me?
Sure, Ace. What do you need?
I'd like to tap into your computer sleuthing skills again. Can you see if there's any connection between the man with the scar and Colombo, the restaurant owner? I'm not exactly sure how you'll find the connection, since we don't know his name, but maybe something will turn up. But unfortunately, we're at a dead end with everything else.
I'll try, Ace. Maybe I can start with a restaurant in Chicago.
That would be a good place to start. We've already seen one connection there. I took Kathy to her house. We agreed on a time for the next day's stakeout. As I drove home, I decided to call Anna.
Hi, Dad. You must have been busy since I left. I don't remember you ever going this long without calling me.
Hi, honey. Yeah, we've been pretty busy.
Have you made any progress?
A little. I guess maybe quite a bit, but I'm frustrated. I feel like I know where the girls are, but we don't have enough evidence to get a warrant. I think I even know the major players.
Dad, keep trying. I know you'll find a way. I haven't been able to get Shirley out of my mind. I keep wondering how I would react if someone took the boys. You have to help her and the other families.
I'm glad I have your support now. I knew you would understand after you met Shirley. Anna, you know I won't give up. I believe the girls are in the house near Allen. We have to get them out. Some girls who have been in there a while may be losing hope, including Shirley's daughter, Christy, who has been there for almost 2 months now. If they give up hope, who knows what will happen to them.
I know, Dad. I was slow to get on board because I was afraid for you. But, Dad, I'm proud of you. I also know that if it weren't for you, Kathy, and Lily, no one would be looking for those girls. How are Kathy and Lily, by the way?
They're good. Kathy has been doing stakeouts with me, and Lily has been using her computer to dig up leads. So they're both heavily invested in this.
Well, tell them I said hello. The boys keep asking about Lily, especially Daniel.
I'll tell them. Hey, I have a call coming in from Lily. Maybe she found something else. I'll call again soon. Love you.
Okay, love you too, Dad.
Hi, Lily. Did you find something?
I think so. I found a ribbon cutting photo for the restaurant. One thing, there's a man in the photo named Jimmy Reynolds. He looks an awful lot like Johnny Ray's. The photo was Jimmy Reynolds on one side and Ron Colombo on the other. So guess who else is in the photo?
I had a fair idea, but I didn't want to steal Lily's thunder. Who?
I've never seen him, but based on Kathy's drawing, there's a guy in the photo who looks an awful lot like the guy in the drawing Kathy did. You can see the scar on his face clear as day in the newspaper picture.
Does it have his name?
No, I wish it did. Everyone but Reynolds and Colombo is labeled staff in the picture. I showed the picture to Mom. She thinks it's the guy she saw in the McDonald's parking lot. She said she's not completely sure, but she's pretty sure she thought Jimmy Reynolds looks an awful lot like Johnny, too.
Can you text me the picture?
Yes, I can. Sending it now.
I pulled into my driveway. I dug my phone out of my pocket and looked at the picture. I agree, Lily. He looks a lot like the guy from the drawing, just younger. It's a shame we don't have his name. Can you tell when the picture was taken?
Yes. It was written in the business section of the Chicago Tribune about 5 years ago, along with a small article. I'll text you the article, too.
Thank you, Lily. You're getting very good at this.
Thank you. I'd better let you go and spend some time with Mom.
Okay. Tell Rose I said hi. I'll talk to you later. I thought about what Lily had told me. I thought it was strange that all the connections revolved around restaurants, mainly one in Chicago. I needed to know the name of the man with the scar. I needed to learn more about his connection to Colombo and Stein to get a search warrant. I was still sitting in the driveway when I decided to call Kathy.
Hi, Ace. Did you forget something?
No, I didn't forget anything. So instead of a stakeout tomorrow, how would you like to eat Italian?
What?
Yeah, Lily did some more research. She found the guy with the scar at a ribbon cutting for Colombo's restaurant. But unfortunately, the picture didn't include his name. So I decided to take a major step. I'm going to Chicago to see what I can find. Would you like to go with me?
Of course I'd like to go to Chicago with you, but couldn't you get the Chicago police to investigate?
I thought about that. If I can't get Hal to dig deeper here, what chance do you think I'll have of convincing the Chicago police to investigate? I know Hal's working on the case, but he also has his limitations. Jurisdictions don't limit my travel. I could go places he can't. The fact that these cases span so many different places could stretch this investigation out if left to the police for too long. We must rescue these girls sooner. I have to do something.
Okay, I guess we'll have Italian for dinner tomorrow.
Great. I'll let you go and make plans for the trip. I'll give you a call back in a little while.
Talk to you in a little while.
I finally went inside and sat down to make hotel reservations for myself and Kathy. I had been to Chicago several times, but not in the last 10 years. I found a courtyard off Michigan Avenue. I looked up the location for Osteria Francescana and found it on East Ontario Street. I booked 2 rooms for 2 nights, hoping that would be enough time. I called Kathy back. Hi. I booked us 2 rooms for 2 nights. I don't know how long we'll be there. I'm hoping that's enough time. You might want to pack for longer.
2 rooms. That's good. I want to pay for mine.
The rooms are adjoining, so we won't be far apart. I want to pay for your room. I'm happy just to have your company.
We'll argue about it later. What time do you want to leave tomorrow?
Could we leave around 9 o'clock? It's about a 7-hour drive. I'll make a reservation at the Italian restaurant. I think that's a good place to start. Hopefully someone there will still remember him. We'll see where that leads.
Yeah, I can pack tonight.
Great. I'll text Lily and see if she can pull the image of the guy with the scar out of the photo and blow it up. I guess I'd better go pack as well. See you in the morning. Good night.
Good night, Ace.
I called Lily to see if she could help with the photo.
Hi, Ace. Did you think of something else?
Yes. Can you pull out the image of the man with the scar and blow it up? We want to take it with us to Chicago. We're hoping someone at the restaurant might remember him so we can at least get his name. Hopefully more.
Sure. Are you going to Chicago? I want to go.
I wish we could take you, young lady, but unfortunately we have no idea what we might run into.
I'm not a baby. I'd be fine.
I thought about what it'd be like to take Lily to Chicago. I would love to give her that experience. I imagined her excitement. I quickly ran through some potential scenarios. What if I started asking questions about the man with the scar and someone didn't take to it well? What if it put them in danger? Lily in danger? Kathy in danger? The more I thought about it, the more I felt not only should I not take Lily, but I also shouldn't take Kathy. Then I thought about how Amelia was killed. Probably because she had seen the man with the scar. Young lady, I would love to take you with us, but I absolutely can't take a chance on putting you in danger. Chances are your mother wouldn't let you go anyway.
I wish I could go, but I understand. I hope you have a good time and find what you need. I'll send a picture soon.
Have you ever been to Chicago?
No, I haven't been anywhere.
When this is over, maybe Kathy and I can take you.
That would be great. Be careful.
We will. I called Kathy back. Hi, me again.
Hi, me again. Something change?
Well, I think something should change, Kathy. I was thinking about how great it would be to take you with me to Chicago. I was thinking about the fun of the trip. Lily asked me if she could go. I told her I couldn't put her in a potentially dangerous situation. I can't put you in a dangerous situation either.
Ace, unlike Lily, I'm an adult. I get to make my own decisions. I understand what we're doing, and I know it could go badly. I'm certainly willing to take that chance to spend time with you. Besides, I want to help those girls too. I'm invested in this.
I understand you're an adult. I know you have to make your own decisions, but I don't want to put you in danger. I couldn't live with myself if something happened to you.
Nothing will happen to me, Ace. If it does, it will be my fault, not yours. You're not responsible for me. Got it?
I understood the finality of her last two words and how pointless it would be to argue. Okay, I'll see you at 9 o'clock.
See you then. Good night, Ace.
Good night, Kathy. I found Kathy raring to go when I arrived the following morning. She met me at the door, opening it wide to reveal several bags.
Could you give me a hand?
Are you bringing someone else? Maybe in one of those bags?
You said to pack for multiple days.
I remembered my strategic loss the night before and knew not to say anything further about the bags. I loaded Kathy's bags into the trunk of my Charger next to my single bag, and we started towards Chicago. We weren't far into the conversation, for the topic I expected to come up did.
You have to let me pay for my room. You've spent so much money on this since I met you. I need to help.
You really don't have to help. I'm not independently wealthy, but I don't have to worry about it either. I have my pension, and Sally's policy had a pretty sizable insurance benefit. I've been more frugal than actually necessary since she passed. Some might even say cheap, but I didn't have reason to spend money. I've now found a good cause. Please allow me to do this. Kathy smiled. It seems she realized this was an argument she wouldn't win.
Okay. I've never been kept before.
I'm not much of a keeper, but you deserve it. You know, I wanted Lily to go with us. I wish we could have taken her. But I knew it would be 100% safe. I would have asked Rose if she could go. She's never been to Chicago.
You know, neither have I. Outside of the possibility of being killed by some bad guys, I'm looking forward to it. It could be romantic, and the danger might add to the romance. It could be like an old Humphrey Bogart movie.
Romantic? If you think danger is romantic, I hope you're disappointed. I'm hoping this will be a pretty boring trip.
Did you travel with Sally a lot?
We did. I love to travel. Sally put up with it for my sake. She knew that I'm a bit of a restless soul at heart. We had a few favorites. We liked to go to New England, although she didn't share my love for seafood. We traveled out west several times and made several trips to Chicago. We both enjoyed museums, and Chicago has some good ones, along with great food. How about you? Did you and George travel a lot?
We hardly traveled at all. I remember one year we took the boys to Disney World. The boys had so much fun. They didn't know that half the time I was battling with George because all he wanted to do was go back to the hotel bar. Finally, I gave in and dragged the boys back to the room each evening. George disappeared every night, staggered back to the room, and passed out. At least he came back after the boys were asleep. We made a few other trips, but I grew to dread them, shielding the boys from George's drunken episodes and avoiding embarrassing public situations and restaurants that served alcohol. George didn't know when to stop drinking. Whatever happens on this trip will likely be easier than our family vacations.
We passed Indianapolis, and I looked toward the city's downtown. There's a revolving restaurant on top of the Hyatt Regency called the Eagle's Nest. I've eaten dinner there several times. Maybe you and I could go sometime.
That'd be great.
Sometime later, the skyscrapers of downtown Chicago appeared on the horizon. I watched out of the corner of my eye for Kathy's reaction. I enjoyed giving experiences to people, especially people I loved. I watched as her eyes widened with excitement. That was it. That was just the reaction I hoped she would have. Downtown's amazing. We have a purpose while we're here, but hopefully we'll have some time for some sightseeing. Probably not any of the museums, but maybe a quick trip to the Hancock Building. We could also potentially end up on the L train.
I'm so excited. I feel like a kid. More excited than I think my boys were the first time they saw Cinderella's castle.
We soon turned off the interstate onto Lakeshore Drive along Lake Michigan, past the Museum of Science and Industry, the Field Museum, and the Navy Pier. Finally, we turned downtown and pulled in front of the Courtyard Hotel, just off Michigan Avenue and the Magnificent Mile. I glanced at Kathy as often as traffic would allow. She was staring out the car window like an excited child, taking in all the sights. We stepped out of the car and stretched. A valet took our bags from my trunk and loaded them on a cart. I handed him the keys and gave him a generous tip.
Thank you, sir.
A bellhop took the cart inside, and we checked into our rooms on the 22nd floor. We were told that Bellhop would bring our bags in a few minutes.
This episode is brought to you by Adobe Firefly, the all-in-one creative studio with AI-powered image and video generation. Built for today's creative process, Firefly helps you generate, edit, and experiment fast. Because the asks aren't getting smaller, and the timelines? Woo, yeah, still tight. With all the best creative AI models in one place, Firefly brings your ideas to life. Learn more at adobe.com/firefly.
I wrote a little song to remind you, Choice Hotels get you more of the experiences you value. The Cambria Hotel's got it all. A rooftop bar, have a ball. Bring a date, your squad, or even your mom. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Let's see, 2213 and 2215. This way, here we are. The bellhop arrived with our bags just after us. He took Kathy's bags into her room, then brought mine. The rooms were small but nice. The king-size bed with pristine white linen seemed to occupy most of the room. There was a desk along the wall and a single armchair squeezed into the corner next to the bed. The single window offered a view of the building next door, but not much else. I quickly noticed that while the rooms were next to each other, there was no connecting door. How about we freshen up a bit and head to dinner? We didn't eat much for lunch. Our dinner reservation's for 7 o'clock. Could you be ready around 6? We can walk to the restaurant and do a bit of browsing.
That should give me just enough time.
As Kathy left to go to her room, it occurred to me that I hadn't mentioned my intentions to Hal. I debated whether to call him and finally decided it would be a good idea.
Hi, Ace. Find out anything?
Not yet, but maybe soon.
Really? See someone else on your stakeout?
Well, not exactly. Kathy and I are in Chicago.
Oh, good. You probably need a break. Is it a romantic getaway?
You're a bit too nosy. We're actually here to get some information. My 16-year-old super sleuth found a picture of the ribbon cutting for Colombo's restaurant. Guess who was in the picture?
Who?
None other than the man with the scar. We're here to see if we can get a name and, if we're lucky, an address.
Ace, I appreciate everything you've done for this case, but this could get dangerous. Do I have to remind you that you're retired? You don't have any backup if anything goes wrong. Why didn't you just call the Chicago police and have them investigate?
I appreciate your concern, Hal. I'm certainly not going to put Kathy in danger. You know as well as I do that it wouldn't have done any good to call the Chicago police. I couldn't even get you to take me seriously.
That's not fair. I always take you seriously, but you also know what we know isn't always what we can prove.
You're right. Have you found anything, Hal?
No, I have to admit we haven't. But since I know you aren't staking out the house at Whitaker anymore, I think we should put someone there. Who knows? We might see something that can help us get a search warrant. I'll let you know. Be careful up there in the Windy City.
We will. Talk to you later.
See you, Ace.
I pulled up the picture of the man with the scar on my phone. Who are you? Where are you? I hope we find out tonight.
Tune in for the next episode. Will Ace and Kathy learn the identity of the man with the scar? Will Ace and Kathy have time for romance? Catch all of our episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast outlet. Subscribe to our Patreon, Ace Johnson, Mysteries with Heart, for extra behind-the-scenes features. You can find the book Ace of Hearts on Amazon.com and Kindle Unlimited.